Cathedral of Shadows, where demons gather.
And are we recording? Yes, we're recording.
Sweet.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Megami Tensei. Fuck. Start over. Yes. God damn it. Anyways. Yeah, I forgot the name of our own podcast for a second there. That
Cathedral
was
of
awful.
Shadows.
Yeah, I know. Like, I was like, wait a second, that's not it. So, okay. Start fresh. Deep breath. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cathedral of Shadows Episode 2. So, everyone really seemed to like our first episode, and I have a few thank yous to give out to people before we get started with the actual show.
Yes.
So,
Lots of things.
First things first, the Top Tier Podcast, which is a podcast with a couple of cool bros, kind of an inspiration for starting this, at least on my end. Talk about a lot of stuff: League of Legends, fighting games, just gaming in general, relationships, advice, and just a bunch of fun stuff. It's a bunch of guys on the couch having a damn good time. I called in there. I've called in before. I'm a frequent caller. People sent the host of the show sent people our way. So thanks to Lou, Rattel, and Beiruti for that. And some of you from over there probably know me as Brandon from Wisconsin as I go by in the calls, but here I am referred to as Rasen by the majority. And by majority I mean Katsu because, only 2 episodes so far, so
Yeah.
he is the majority alone.
No one remembers my real name. They just call me Katsu.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know your real name.
Yeah.
So we have that. Now, another person I want to thank is Game FAQ's guy, also known as Sippy Cup, with a 1 instead of the I. He went on the SMT4 board. He said he had a Fire Emblem Awakening code, and he wanted an SMT4 code, so he was asking if anyone wanted to exchange or wanted to give him a code because he wasn't interested in buying SMT4, and then he said in return he'd give me a bunch of Club Nintendo codes he had through various games. We did the deed and ended up with a shit ton of Club Nintendo coins at the end of the day. So thank you, Sippy Cup, for that. I ended up getting a reversible pouch, and it's coming in the mail sometime this week. So
Yay.
That'll be fun. And then last but not least, Vincent, admin of Serene's Forest, allowed Katsu to post a link for this podcast on Serene's Forest, which is a Fire Emblem fan site. So Katsu is more familiar about that than I am, I guess.
Serene's Forest is probably the biggest Fire Emblem fan site. I think they started back when Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn came out or something like that. So it's been around for a while.
They look pretty cool.
Yeah, the admin's a cool guy.
That is cool. So thanks to Serene's Forest people for listening to this and allowing Katsu to post our crappy podcast there. So
Yes.
I guess let's get started. So as you probably have gathered from episode 1, I am Rasen.
I'm Katsu.
And we are SMT fans. So with that, we're going to talk about, every once in a while, what SMTs are we playing? Probably not weekly, because I don't think either of us can get through an SMT in a week. That'd be impressive. But so I know for me, I just beat SMT4, have a review 2-parter on my channel. Now I'm going through SMT1 once more, going to play SMT2 after that, and maybe start up Persona 4 again soon. So as for you, I don't know what you're doing, but
I am going to start playing SMT1, but not until after I beat Strange Journey. But when it comes to Strange Journey, I am far too busy to play right now. I have to do my Let's Play of Tales of Exilia. I am going to be playing Kingdom Hearts 1.5 HD Remix soon. So yeah, I'm very busy, and I gotta find a new job. And there's Final Fantasy
Oh,
14. Stuff just keeps piling up.
gotta get that job so you can afford all of them games. How
Yes.
that feel? Oh man, I almost side note, I almost didn't have a job at the end of this month. Not because I fucked up or anything, but because something crazy happened in my boss's life, and he's like, "Yeah, I might just shut down the entire company and leave you guys to dry." And I was like, "Oh shit!" But
Wow.
yeah, I know it was awful. Um, so, but that was dealt with, and he was like, "Yeah, I overreacted." So I was kind of pissed about that, but hey, at least I still have a job. So that would have been
Yay.
horrifying. I'm in college. I can't afford shit. Anyways, so we have that. Um, I guess one other thing we wanted to talk about is, Katsu is going around Serene's Forest, and he found a very interesting topic in the SMT Crossfire Emblem board.
Oh, that topic.
Yes.
So much shits and giggles. I had a really good giggle from that thread.
And this thread was talking about whether Mara should be in SMT Crossfire Emblem or not. With mixed results from the Fire Emblem fan bases. Well, I guess I shouldn't say mixed. I think the poll was something like over 70 people wanted Mara and like 9 or something didn't want Mara. But
Yeah.
uh
People who wanted Mara just wanted him in there because he looked like a penis, and they like the notion of like Mara pairing up with someone like Ike or Crom.
that seemed to be the general consensus. Yes, people wanted their favorite Fire Emblem characters to, team up with this giant penis, maybe have a support conversation or two.
Yes, this giant phallic demon. Maybe get an S support.
Yes, but people were worried because it seemed like there were a few people that were not too keen on having Fire Emblem, you know,
Get the M rating.
yeah, or like, be dark or have stuff like that in it since, it's a Nintendo first party game. Nintendo likes to keep their stuff tier under, it seems like.
Yeah.
So there's some controversy about that. In the SMT community, we have a joke that is rated M for Mara, and it's the fact that every game with Mara in it automatically gets an M, it seems like.
Yeah.
Just because of it. So Devil Survivor 1 and 2 both got T ratings, no Mara. And
Everything else got an M rating. For the
yes,
Mara.
Persona 4, which is considerably lighter, got an M rating, and it had Mara. so
Yeah.
so there's that.
But the thing that they need to understand is Mara has been a part of the Shin Megami Tensei franchise since the first Shin Megami Tensei.
Yes.
He's been in all of the main games, a lot of the side games. It's it's kind of wrong to not have Mara show up somewhere in one of these games.
Yeah, and just think about it. Instead of a Pegasus Knight, you could have like a Mara Knight or something. It's like,
Yeah, you can have a Mara Knight.
a,
Yeah,
a, a
just think of the
tiny a tiny girl with a giant lance she probably could not realistically carry just riding this giant Mara penis demon. It would be
yeah.
fantastic.
I
So
mean, like we know Kaneko is up to something. He might just be drawing phallic Mara Knights or something for the crossover. We don't know.
yes. So there's that. We just thought that thread was hilarious. So
That thread was golden.
I'm not even registered in the forum, and I was like, oh, I kind of want to join this and post something, but so there's that. Then we have some big news for European Atlas fans. Devil Survivor 2 finally got enough pre-orders, and it's coming out in Europe.
Yay! It's coming out this fall.
Yes, finally. You guys only are like a year, almost 2 years late, I think, on
Hey, but
that,
at least you're getting it. Better to not get it at all.
which is
You
true.
know, Devil Survivor Break Record is
Coming out this
coming.
fall in Japan.
Yeah,
So there's that. I really encourage you guys to pick it up. Like I said last episode, Devil Survivor 2 is my favorite SMT. Uh, just love that game to death. Hell, I was playing it a little bit last night on my New Game Plus run. I just can't put that game down ever. I enjoy it too much.
Yeah, Devil Survivor's 2 really good. Speaking of Devil Survivor 2, like the Devil Survivor fan base, ever since the Devil Survivor 2 anime, there's been something of a split.
Well, I wouldn't say so much as the anime. I think it came before that. I think the anime is universally hated. Um,
Yeah,
I liked it better than the Persona 4 anime just because I think what it comes down to is Persona 4 anime had a terrible story and it looked bad, whereas
yeah,
the Devil Survivor 2 anime had a terrible story, but at least it looked good. So that's why I liked
yeah.
that one
It,
better.
it looked pretty.
Yes, the plot was awful though,
Yeah,
which kind of scares me for the Persona 3 movie, but hopefully they've learned their lesson by then.
I mean the Persona 3 movie looks good, and they're dividing it up into 4 different movies, so they can pace it better than what they did with Persona 4 and Devil Survivor 2.
You see, I think Persona 3 just is probably one of the better MegaTen games that can be paced up or like, chopped up into something cinematic like that too, just because they have the 12 different shadows and then,
Yeah,
all the stuff after that they need to fight. So I think that works out a little bit better, honestly.
yeah. Makes me wonder how they're going to tackle December, the worst month of the game.
Just like have half of that movie be them crying and scared.
Yeah, just
That,
half of them be crying.
just Mitsuru sitting on the couch watching TV like, oh, guys, this really sucks. And then Yukari like, oh, this really sucks. And repeat for all the other characters because that's basically what happens in the game.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, before what we're talking about with the split in the Devil Survivor fan bases, there's a lot of people that really like to badmouth either one or two. Um,
yeah,
I think both games are great, and I think most people think both games are great, but I still, from time to time, see one or two people that are just like, two is great, and everyone who doesn't like it over one is a terrible person. Same with, people saying one is great and two is too
one.
stupid and lighthearted and a Neon Genesis
It was-
Evangelion ripoff, and yeah.
yeah, and then it's like, oh, Devil Survivor 1. It was closer to the Megami Tensei roots with Yahweh and all the demons and all that stuff. But
My
then
favorite.
they have to go off and say like Devil Survivor 2. You're pretty much like the Persona fans, y'all guys.
Yeah.
It's all about waifus with y'all guys.
That's my favorite one too when they compare it to Persona because like there's the fate system in there except that like that thing is barely important to the game. Like it's really only there for like it gives you some extra bonuses on the characters you'd like to spend time with, but at the
Yeah,
same time that kind of decides who like decides to stick around for the ending. So
yeah,
that's kind of important, but at the same time the overall the strategy RPG gameplay is a lot more important to the overall game. So
yeah,
whereas Persona, like the social aspect is kind of like half the game, at least for three and
yeah.
four. One and two didn't have it at all. So, but I guess one could say the Devil Survivor fan base rift isn't as bad as another big
Oh man,
fan base war,
that's
which
that's
may
going to be an
which may or
entire
may not
video.
involve Persona.
That's an entire video that's an entire podcast in on itself. We could talk
Yeah.
an hour and a half about how crazy
See,
it
people
is.
wanted us to talk about that right away, and I was like, we're not ready.
No,
The world is not ready.
the world is not ready for that.
Like that is the one if we ever do anything or like talk about anything Megami Tensei related, that is the video where I just do not want to look at the comments because I know they're gonna be stupid, but
Yes,
uh
the stupidity that follows.
maybe we'll do that for a special 10th episode or something, who knows.
Yeah, maybe.
Uh
Don't expect it anytime soon.
yeah, don't expect it that soon. Actually, I guess we can go on to segue a little bit into the next thing people really wanted to know. Uh, when we're going to have guests on and who they're going to be and if they can be guests.
Oh
So
my god, please stop asking me about yes. I'm saying that right
I
now.
I got
Stop.
bombarded with this shit. So so I guess we kind of agreed we're going to do two things. We're going to have either episodes where we're going to before the episode records, me or Katsu are gonna, talk to the person and say, hey, do you want to be on as a guest? So if we invite you on to be a guest for an episode because we think you're doing something really cool in the community or, have a cool tie to an SMT game somehow or something like that, we'll have you on for the entire episode.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what we're thinking of doing is we don't know when we're going to do this yet, but maybe have special guests episodes where I just add everyone who wants to be added on Skype and then just randomly call someone in, have them talk for like 5 or 10 minutes about like one thing. Then when we're done talking about that one topic, I boot them from the call, then add in someone else, and then we talk for a little bit and then repeat till we're done. um,
Yeah.
so we might do some special guest episodes like that every once in a while. Those will probably be, I guess, not really frequent or infrequent either. They'll probably be maybe every 5 episodes or something like that. Who knows?
Just
So
don't expect it anytime soon.
yeah, I don't know how we'll go about doing that yet. So we'll figure that out eventually. But
Yeah.
so if you want to be on, either A, you should do something really cool in the community, or B, you should add me on Skype whenever we get around doing that, and you can be on for 10 minutes or so.
And don't ask us anymore.
Oh God, please stop. But um, that was the question we got asked the most: is when can I be on, or can this guy be on, or who's going to be on? So we don't have any guests yet that we want to bring on. I don't think. At least I don't. I don't know if you.
Yeah, you guys haven't done shit. No. You guys haven't
Go
done shit.
go like burn down a building or something, then come back.
Yeah, then maybe we'll add you on.
Go cosplay as a Persona 3 character, then shoot yourself in the head in an anime convention. Then
Yeah.
we can't really have you on then because you'll be dead. But
Yeah.
yeah, don't do that. So I guess we have a few questions that people sent us at cathedralofshadows@gmail.com.
Plug.
Yes, plug. So I'm a little disappointed. We only got 3 emails, but those 3 people that emailed us are pretty cool. But I do have one Game FAQ's private message, which I never even thought of before I logged in one day. So if you want to private message me on Game FAQs, I guess that's cool too. Rasen543 is my profile. I don't know if you can find that just from the site itself, but you can contact me there from if you see me around the SMT4 boards. And there's a few YouTube comments we wanted to address too. Well, I guess
Yeah.
maybe just one YouTube comment, but I thought it was a good enough question to not answer right away and save for a podcast episode. So
Okay.
our first email question and our first person to ever send us a question ever in the history of this podcast is actually someone who's pretty important to Megami Tensei. So
Oh my god.
yes, so Mastema Harold at trustworthymastema@gmail.com asks, is Mastema the best angel or best angel? P.S. I am totally not Mastema. So it turns out that it looks like the law forces already know about our podcast, so we can't say anything too chaosy, or else we're probably going to get
Yeah.
assassinated. So
Ah, the forces of law, you
Yeah.
guys.
yeah, that Mastema. So
Master.
Mastema. So, well, yeah, I guess Mastema's a pretty cool guy. He's only really been in Strange Journey and SMT4, but he's been pretty devious in both those games.
Yes, he's left quite the impression. I saw a video of one of the DLCs for Shin Megami Tensei 4 that shows how, spoilers by the way, how
Yes.
the 4 heralds got locked up in their cages. Apparently that was a ploy set up by Mastema.
Who was just being a dick at the time, really. So,
Yeah.
yeah, one thing I really like about Mastema is he seems to have his own version of law that doesn't involve the Archangels. He seems to really not agree with them, so it's almost like the law faction has its own little civil war going on.
Yes, there's a rift in the law faction. Maybe the rift will be explained later down the line, but yeah, definitely keep an eye on that Mastema guy.
I have a feeling Mastema is a lot more important than what the games make him like out to be, because he kind of pops up in 4 and Strange Journey, and he seems to know more than he lets on, but he doesn't really act on anything in those games. So
Yeah.
you never know.
Like the biggest thing he did was seal up the Archangels in Shin Megami Tensei 4.
Yeah.
As far as I know, that was the biggest thing he's did.
Well, if you don't mind Strange Journey spoilers,
Yeah, I don't care about Strange Journey spoilers.
okay, apparently you fight him only in the Chaos route. Like if you go neutral, he's not really mad at you. He just kind of goes, "Oh, maybe next time," and then leaves. But apparently So apparently he is pretty all right with neutral people, but apparently he does not like chaos people at all because that's the only time you ever fight him. So
Yeah.
at least
So he's law through and through, but not.
he's not a dick about it, I guess. But
Yes.
as far as we know, um, so I guess we have this here second email sent to us by Crisis of Fate, who is a person that's I met through Game FAQs, and me and him are kind of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 training buddies a little bit.
Yay.
Yes, me and him play a lot. I funny story. I think actually both of us eventually, when playing Random All, we both got to a point where we only had Hishenko left, who, if you're not familiar with UMVC3, is the worst character in the game. And I made a X Factor level 3 Hisenko comeback, and I think he did that to me once too, so we're even, but I wish I had recorded both of those instances because it was great.
People say Hisenko is pretty bad, but watch like some Hisenko god comes out of Japan and just wins tournaments. Right, everybody's like, oh my god, I need to pick this character up. And
Yes.
Look at all this tech.
The Marvel podcast. There's never enough time for Marvel. So
Yes.
anyways, he asks, hey Rasen, I saw your video and I enjoyed it. Since you said that you were going to talk about upcoming Atlas games, I just wanted to show you this. Insert NeoGaf link here. Apparently, Kaneko is working on a new Megami Tensei spin-off. Keep in mind that Aina, who apparently posted the information, has connections to the Japanese gaming industry, and she or he already leaked SMT4 info before. If you forget, it's me, Crisis of Fate. No, I remember your email, buddy. So, I guess there's been some leakage regarding Kaneko and what he's working on. And if it is a new spin-off, that'd be pretty cool.
But it might just be Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem, though.
Well,
I
yeah, I
mean,
guess that is technically a new spin-off. So
yeah, it is. So he may be doing something involving that. I made a thread on Serene's asking like, what do you guys think of the art direction is going to be for the crossover? And I think maybe Kaneko's doing some character designs for the crossover. Maybe he's the lead character designer drawing up the Fire Emblem characters and SMT characters in his art style.
that would be cool.
Yes, that would be cool. Can you imagine just like Fire Emblem characters looking like Kaneko people?
Look all pasty-faced, and because
Pasty face.
when like he draws his characters, like they have like pure white, like snow white skin, and I
Yeah.
don't know, something about that just like um it looks like so like cool to me because like his humans look badass, but they look like normal people.
Yeah.
Like they aren't like crazy.
Everyday guys.
They don't have like crazy anime hair most of the time. Like I guess Persona 3 and 4 protagonists are like the worst defenders of that, but like most of the time the Kaneko like human characters look fairly normal, but they still look cool, so that's cool.
Yeah. So he may be doing something in the crossover. He might be doing some new demons, some Fire Emblem inspired demons for the game. Chances are he's probably doing something in the crossover because he's been working on this secret project thing for a while now.
Yeah. I say it was an SMT Crossfire Emblem. Do you think it'd be cool if we got another spin-off that was unrelated to that?
Yeah, it'll be cool. We got another spinoff. I want like the more Megami Tensei games, the better.
Yeah, I agree. So I guess that's about it. So we have a one other person, Johnny Awesome, who has been posting on my YouTube videos for quite a while now. He has a pretty awesome SMT4 playthrough going on. I've surfed around and watched a few episodes of that. Dude has an awesome voice, and he actually has a 3DS capture card, so his Let's Play looks professional as fuck. So you should go check that out because it's really well done. I've enjoyed what I've watched of it so far. I wish I had more time so I can just sit down and watch all of it in one go, but I've had to skip around and stuff. So hopefully I can see the entire playthrough all the way through one of these days. But he asks, hey there, Rasen and Katsu. that extra N. Um, just wanted to say great job on the show. Really loved part one and hope to see much more. Thank you. But I
Thanks.
digress. I wanted to know your guys' opinion on the ultimate bosses the franchise has become so well known for. This is personally my favorite aspect of the series, and wanted to hear both your opinions on them. So I guess this is my SMT confession. The only extra boss I think I've ever fought were the Devil Survivor 2 ones. So I think like Beelzebub. I can't remember the others, but there's a few you get in New Game Plus. So I like that they're there. I a lot of times I guess they have some of the cooler designs like Demiurge from Demiurge, don't know how, whatever. From Strange Journey and 4 looks really cool. You got Beelzebub in some of the games, and he's always fun.
Yeah.
So, what
I
about
like
you?
the super bosses in the franchise. Um, if anything, for what the MegaTen franchise is known for, it's known for difficult battles, super souped up super bosses that can just kill you in one hit, and yeah, and outside of phallic demons, yeah, that's it. Um, like it's to the point where that's pretty much Atlas's slogan is they get off on our tears because
Yes.
they know we're crying from all these difficult battles.
Uh,
There's this one there was this one difficult battle in Persona 3. I'm pretty sure people may be familiar with it. It's the Elizabeth battle.
oh, I
That
thought you were
battle was
gonna say
pretty.
the Reaper. But
No,
yeah,
no, no.
that
Reaper's nowhere near as bad as Elizabeth.
I beat that shit on my first playthrough with without like the Thunder Cry or Armageddon bullshit, and that was actually fairly difficult. But Elizabeth, yeah, I've never fought, but she looks like a pain in the ass.
Yeah, Elizabeth is pretty difficult. You have to fight her by yourself. You can't bring a party with you because she will then pull off a demi fiend in Digital Devil Saga and just whip out Pixie and destroy you.
The most humiliating death.
The most humiliating death. So you have to face her alone. You have to take her down to a certain point and then kill her in one hit, or else she's just gonna heal up all her health back. During a certain phase, she will instant kill you, so you need to bring sacrificial dolls and all that stuff, a monkey lie. It's such a pain in the ass. You have to prepare for a lot, and when you win, it's just so satisfying. But you only get a key item that you can't even use.
That's awesome. So,
Uh, the Margaret fight in Persona 4 is a lot easier. I was actually kind of disappointed how the bar was lowered. Because I expected it to be Elizabeth. I went there by myself, and I got super prepared, and then I just got disappointed because I could just go, power charge, hostile Toby, GG.
something I always thought that looked cool. I don't remember if it's Persona 1 or 2, but you can fight Philemon. That
I
actually
think that
look
was Persona 2.
that looks pretty cool. Just beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, I never actually faced Philemon before. I think Glenn has faced Philemon before. He's really big into the Persona 2 duology.
Friend of the
So,
show, Glenn.
yes. So he's probably faced Philemon several times. He probably whooped his ass a couple times. So he's the guy to ask about how difficult Philemon is.
Maybe we'll have him on too
Yes,
sometime
maybe.
eventually.
Maybe.
So see, sometimes outstanding acts in the community can just boil down to being our friends. But
Yes.
no, maybe he can give us because I've been talking with him on Skype, and he's finally going out to purchase a 3DS, and he wanted my opinion on, hey, should I get SMT4 overclocked, or what game should I start out with? So maybe it'd be nice to see a beginner's side of.
A beginner's perspective of the franchise.
Well, I guess he's not so much a beginner to MegaTen as a whole, but just more of the mainline stuff because I think he's played most of the Personas. So
Yeah, he's played most of Personas.
yeah, so uh, he's kind of getting into the other games in the series now, so that's all good.
Yeah,
So maybe we'll have him on. Um, but we
maybe.
have, oh, what?
Maybe.
Maybe. Um, So we have one YouTube question, which I probably could have responded to, but I thought it'd be cool if I had Katsu's opinion on this too. or if he wanted to do anything in this regard. Poison Monkey 22 asks, Rasen, have you ever considered Let's Playing an SMT game? The answer to that is yes. I've considered Devil's Survivor 2 many times, and I looked it up just a few days ago. It seems like only one person has a entire full playthrough of the game, and I don't know how informational it is because it is blind. So, I was thinking, hey, maybe I should take charge because I guess on Game FAQs, a lot of people seem to know me as that Devil Survivor 2 guy or the guy who really likes Devil Survivor 2. So, I was thinking, well, maybe it'd be nice to have like a still funny but, pretty informational let's play of Devil Survivor 2 out there just to help people, especially now that it's coming out in Europe and Break Record's coming out soon. I think I could do that game justice. Have you ever thought of let's playing a SMT game?
I really want to do a Let's Play of SMT4. I uploaded a few extensions of the game soundtrack. I uploaded Isabeau's theme and boss battle, and I expressed my interest in doing a Let's Play of the game. But since I've beaten all 3 routes, I'm kind of taking a break from it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be playing for quite some time. Probably maybe a year or so down the line when I get my capture card.
Yeah. So, on that note, there's a few, actually 2 people I kind of want to, recommend if you're looking for a good SMT Let's Play. RAIDOUFROST'S, he is a cool guy who has done some pretty cool, Let's Plays of Shin Megami Tensei 1 and 2, which a lot of people find a little hard to get into due to the dated gameplay. So if you don't actually want to play those games yourself, RAIDOUFROST'S is his name. He has a pretty cool Let's Play of both those games. So check that out. He doesn't make Let's Plays anymore, I don't think, but, those are still pretty cool videos. And then, like I said before, we have Johnny Awesome, who wrote into the show, watches my videos, and has a pretty ballin' SMT4 Let's Play. So
I'll have to check that out.
you should. Maybe I'll do a Devil Survivor 2 Let's Play shortly. You know what? You'll probably see some DS emulator capture footage testing soon on my channel just to see how that all works. I'm not actually sure how you go about doing that. I wonder if the emulators have record AVI functions now, or if I have to use secondary program for that. But
the Desmumi DS emulator has built-in capture. You can record AVI. You select your codec, and then it records to whatever you save it to.
Oh, okay.
But the thing is that the game runs a lot slower when it records, but when the output file is still full speed, full speed, full 30 frames per second, and all that stuff.
Well, that won't be a problem with the strategy RPG. So hopefully, I guess my version is old, or I just never noticed it because I don't think mine has that. So I'll re-download the newest version.
Yeah.
So that'll be out in the future, maybe. Aside from that, I think we covered that. And then one last question is the Game FAQ's private message I got. And this is from Demi Knight. And he says, on your podcast, you asked for questions, so I thought I'd supply 1 or 2. Awesome. 1. Would you be interested in Atlus remaking older games in HD for modern audiences, like a release of SMT 1 and 2 on PSN or the Nintendo Shop, with updates to make presentation a little better and upgrading music? But these projects obviously take time away from the company's new work, so I guess he's asking if we would rather, see remakes of some of the more dated games in the series, or if we should just leave those behind and focus on the newer games. He says, personally, I wouldn't mind if somebody else did it for Atlus, like the Persona 4 Arena game. So he's talking about outsourcing the remakes to another company. Yeah. I'm all for
the
it.
thing is with HD ports, updated remakes, and stuff like that, the game loses some of its novelty when it goes through that process. I know Final Fantasy fans clamor for a Final Fantasy VII remake, but the thing is, when they play that theoretical remake, they're not going to get the same experience that they had when they played it 1997 ago.
Yeah.
because it's going to lose some of its novelty. You're going to see the flaws in the story and the characters. You're going to see all these imperfections, and you're like, hey, this isn't the game I played. You're pretty much your nostalgia glasses just shatter before your eyes. So there's that risk when it comes to updating games, making updated ports, HD ports. And there's some games that just should stay classics and not be updated at all, which I kind of feel about with Shin Megami Tensei 1 and 2. I feel like they're fine the way they are. Just re-release them like a Nintendo eShop download game or something like that. It'll be perfectly fine. Just a nice original SMT with its original SMT roots. But for PlayStation 2 games like Digital Devil Saga and Nocturne, a PSN release is enough.
Yeah.
That will do the game. That will do those games justice.
Well, I think Ghostlight actually tried with Digital Devil Saga, and the emulator just doesn't work with that game, and Sony's not really helping them out with that, so it's not out yet.
Yeah. So yeah. There's a lot of compatibility issues I've heard.
Yeah.
I know Persona 3 on PSN has save state issues. It has graphical glitches and flashes.
Oh, you know it's bullshit? Like I beat the game like 2 weeks like before they fixed that. So my first playthrough was just like the final dungeon part of Tartarus, I guess, where it's all like white and heavenly looking ish, I guess. It was just all flashing like seizure inducing, and like 2 weeks after I beat it, they're like, "Oh, it's fixed, guys." So
hey, it's fixed. Yay.
yeah,
Strobe lights.
yeah. But personally, I'm for a modernized version of SMT 1 and 2. But I guess there's a few things I would want to bring up with that. I want it to be like Soul Hackers, where you can just kind of mix around with the gameplay settings and difficulty, because some people just want to experience them and just put it down to the easiest difficulty and then run through them just so they know the story and stuff like that. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Make the game look a little prettier, nicer, I guess. The one thing I see some people talk about though that kind of concerns me is some people are like, oh, they should remake SMT 1 and 2 with like the press turn system or something like that. And honestly, it wouldn't work. The game it really isn't balanced around that. If they did do that, they would have to like make the game again from the ground up with like all the demons you get in various parts and like the boss's weaknesses and resistances. It would basically just be a different game. Because if you added the press turn system, the beginning of the game would just become flat out hell, and there are some later bosses I think would be too easy and just stuff like that. So, but he asks a second question. Persona 5 is supposed to be on the way, and the director already said in Famitsu that they're making some changes to the systems of the game. What would you guys like to see? I think it would be good for them to change social links, make less of them, basically. 5 or 6 linking events to get to max. So kind of like the Fate system of Devil Survivor 2.
Or they could just take social links out altogether and drop the waifu aspect so the Persona fan base can grow the fuck up. That's a suggestion right there, but that's a rant for another video.
At the same time, they should make the game's year shorter. So I think he's talking about like the calendar system where you go day to day. Sometimes, especially late in the game when you've already given up on a bunch of links, you'll find yourself having to do a week where almost nothing happens. Good luck with the show. Thank you, Demi Knight. So for Persona 5, they already said stuff like the jump from 4 to 5 is going to be about as big as 2 to 3. I feel like Atlas is too... I don't think Atlas is willing to replace the social link system because cash. But
cash cow.
Yes. But I will say, I think they should replace it with the Fate system. And the reason I say that is because I kind of talked about this last episode when I was talking about Devil Survivor 2, but the Fate system in Devil Survivor 2 is basically like the S-Link system, but it's only 5 levels, and I think you get a bonus or an upgrade for each like level up of a character. So like the resistances will change, you'll be able to fuse something new, stuff like that. The reason I like this is because for most social links in Persona 3 and 4, you have like the 1 through 3 like level of social link where like it's like, hey, let's go out to eat, or hey, let's study together.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you want to go out somewhere? It's like, okay, sure, break up.
Yeah. Like you just like it's wasted. Like you don't do anything. So I think that would streamline that down a bit. Uh, some people, I guess you don't want social links at all.
No, I don't want social links at all.
You know what? I could actually get behind that because I'm fine with just more of a straight up RPG, but that would really piss off the fan base.
I don't care if it will piss off the fans. They need to grow up.
uh, there's you know, that would be interesting, or maybe if they had like a toggle or some sort where like you can play the game through with social links or play the game through like a regular RPG to appeal everyone, but that would never happen.
Yeah, that will never happen.
Um, I guess the best compromise would be something like the Fate system, but
Yeah, I'd be okay with a Fate-styled system.
there are people that are like, oh, we want Persona 5 to follow what happens to the Persona 3 and 4 protagonists and close up all that. I don't think so. I think
I think all that's going to happen in the Persona 4 Arena update. They're just going to
yeah.
end everything there and then go to a fresh set of games.
Well, that's what I'm thinking too. It's like they had their story, they had their day in the limelight.
Yeah, they had
let
all
some
their
new
shenanigans.
let some new characters in. You don't need to focus on all the old ones.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so hopefully that
So,
yeah.
so hopefully we'll see something new in Persona 5, something fresh, something to usher in a new fan base. Let Persona 3 and Persona 4 fanboys have they had their day already. Let some new fans get into the series. I know a lot of people who wanted to get into Persona were turned off by the dating aspects of Persona 3 and 4. They're like, "Oh, it's like one of those damn Japanese dating sim games where waifus and all that shit. I don't want to play that." And I tell them to play Persona 2 and 1, and they really enjoy those games because they feel like
they're just RPGs.
solid
Yeah.
dungeon crawler RPGs, which they really enjoy.
The thing with that I guess is I don't know. It's really weird because that is kind of it almost sounds like a niche thing, like half visual novel, half JRPG, but it seems to have worked for Atlas. But like there's a lot of people that are just like me that are indifferent to the social link stuff. Like I don't care for it. I just kind of sit through it and then oh hey, I get to fight shadows now. So I really could care less what they do with it as long as the ratio of RPG gameplay to visual novel stuff remains about the same or goes a little more in favor of the RPG stuff, I'll be fine. I know there's a few fans out there that would rather the visual novel stuff just take over the entire game completely and
Yeah,
not for that.
make it 100% a dating sim.
It stops being I don't know. I feel like at that point it stops being what the
MegaTen.
yeah, well, not only that, but just what Persona set out to be as a whole, where like
Yeah,
it studied psychology, but also had some solid RPG gameplay and stuff like that. So
yeah.
that's enough Persona 5 talk. And also, if you're listening to this and you ever see someone on a Atlas video saying when's Persona 5 coming out, you have my permission to go to their house and punch them in the face.
Yes.
So I hate those people.
Yeah.
I guess that's about it for this episode.
Yeah, there isn't much else left to talk about.
Yeah. So if you guys want to send us in a question, come on. We only had about 5, and only 3 of them were emailed to us. You guys
Yeah.
can do better than that. The 3 people that did email us, one of which is a angel of death and destruction. Um, you 3 people are cool. There are 2 people and 1 angel, whatever. So more people email us, please, or game FAQs, or maybe if you leave a question in the YouTube comments, if I don't respond, chances are we'll talk about it in the next episode. There's a lot of ways to have your question on this episode. So
Yeah.
if you want to email us, remember it's cathedralofshadows@gmail.com.
Oh, if any of you guys from Serene's Forest who are watching this, and if you have a question, you could just send me a private message on the forums. I'm usually there lurking. So, Yeah, I don't post
You're
much. I
you're
just lurk.
you're not there drawing pictures of Pegasus Knights drawing or riding Mara.
No.
Hmm.
Hmm.
You should get on that.
Yeah, I probably should.
No, don't do that. You'll be banned. Um, probably. At least I would hope so. Anyways, so that's about it for Cathedral of Shadows episode 2. Thanks so much, guys. This has been awesome. I'm Rasen.
I'm Katsu.
Uh, and if you want more of this, you can subscribe, I guess, if you want. If you want to take time out of your day to do that, that'd be cool. Don't care if you don't, but I'm excited if you do. Leave comments below, like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you hate both of us, which I hope no one here does. But
Oh.
if you dislike this video, I'll fist fight you in a bar somewhere. Be like just like Fight Club. So yeah, I guess that's it. So thanks, guys. See ya.
See ya.
Oh, that was fun.
Oh yeah.
Gather demons and come again.